My name is Travis. Wait. My name is Travis, and I'm CrossFit Ergo's Member of the Month. So the stuff I do outside of the gym, for one, I work for PG&E, work out of Diablo Canyon as a nuclear security officer. When I get home, I have a beautiful wife and daughter. Daughter's 2.5 years old, so that occupies a lot of the time. I can't, thank my wife enough for giving me the time to come train. A lot of the stuff I do at home on my days off, just be with the wife and daughter, take our huge 115-pound puppy for a walk in the morning, just hang out with them, usually take my daughter to dance class on Saturdays, try to stay out of the heat, especially during the summertime. Hobbies I enjoy, it's been a while since I've done it, but I'm into the RC, remote control cars. Kind of nerdy, but I enjoy it. Get to tinker around with vehicles, build stuff, so it's pretty much it for me. So me and my athletic career, I played football at Paso High. I graduated 2003. I was fortunate enough to receive a scholarship to play for the University of Southern California, USC. Was there for 4 years, had an amazing time, played with amazing guys. A lot of them made it to the NFL. Couldn't be any more happier for those guys. Unfortunately, career was cut short. Was dealing with the back injury at the time. It was one of those situations where you continue playing, you risk going paralyzed, or you quit playing and you could possibly live, a normal life, pretty much pain-free. So that's what I did for about 10 years, and then 2017 it finally hit me and I had to have a back surgery, which was pretty devastating to anything that I like to do physically and athletically. The surgery itself was supposed to turn into a 4-hour, or was only supposed to be a 4-hour surgery. Ended up being an 8-hour surgery. Supposedly I have really dense bone. So my back surgeon was having a really hard time trying to get the screws set far enough into my vertebrae to complete the fusion. Originally, my wife, Shelly, was under the impression that the surgery was supposed to be 4 hours long. 4 hours turned into 6 hours, 6 hours turned into 7, and talking to her afterwards, she was, starting to get worried because it was taking so long. All said and done, the back surgery went great. I just had a lot of major complications, afterwards, which really made my recovery hard. Being face down for 8 hours, I ended up messing up the nerve in my right shoulder, which pretty much controlled the feeling in my right arm. So for about 3 to 4 weeks, I had no use in my right arm. I was pretty much numb. They called it Saturday night palsy. When you get drunk and fall asleep and you lay in the wrong position, you wake up and your arm's kind of numb. That was my situation, but it never went away. Once feelings started coming back, it was just nonstop throbbing and burning in the right arm. My pain meds weren't doing anything. My nerve medication wasn't doing anything. So, it really put me in a dark place, just dealing with it mentally. On top of, having a back surgery that, you hear a lot of war stories from people with, back fusions, saying, oh, I wish I never did it. I can never do things I used to do. So I had all that, playing in my mind. A lot of just mental battles I had going on. And then, 2 months after my back surgery, actually it was about a month and a half after my back surgery, I developed a blood clot in my left calf. And if anyone's ever had a blood clot in their calf, they know how painful it is. It's just agonizing. So a lot of small things kind of stacked up on top of, my back surgery alone, which made my recovery really hard. Definitely, erring on the side of caution. I played it safe. I kind of let myself go. Had no motivation to train. I was worried about going to the gym, working out, possibly messing up my back and then having to restart the process all over again. So yeah, that's just a small little tidbit of what I went through with my back surgery. What it was like joining CrossFit Ergo before surgery, you know, I was still, for me, I was in pretty good condition. It was challenging, you know, there's different types of training for, you know, every sport, every form of competition, and this was definitely, you know, a challenge, you know, going from strictly, you know, powerlifting, lifting weights, to a little bit of, you know, conditioning for football, to workouts that you're doing in, you know, 10, 15, 20 minutes that are just totally just tearing you down. I enjoyed it, you know. At that time, my strength, you know, I felt really strong, so, you know, a lot of the workouts I was able to, you know, RX. So it was just one thing that, you know, being just a previous athlete, you know, you constantly want to improve, get better, see, you know, progress, and on top of that, you know, help people out. Just kind of be a motivator to, you know, help them, you know, achieve what their ultimate goal is. I rejoined Ergo, I want to say it was late February, early March. It was to the point where, you know, last year with the whole COVID lockdown, gyms closing, it just got to a point where, you know, fitness wasn't even in my mind anymore. It was one of those things where I was feeling sorry for myself. I knew how hard I had to train to get to the level I was before my back surgery, and it was just to the point where I didn't want to put in that, you know, effort and time, you know, to get back there, because I knew how hard I had to train to do that, and feeling sorry for myself, knowing that I'm never gonna, you know, get back to where I was physically, definitely, you know, hindered, you know, my motivation to get back in here. My breaking point was ultimately, for one, you know, I was up to the heaviest weight that I've, you know, ever been, and that's, you know, including even down playing college football. It was funny because I stepped on the scale we have at the house, and I saw the weight, and I'm like, holy crap, you know, this is, you know, getting kind of bad. All other scales I step on, you know, it says air. Those scales aren't, you know, big man certified, but like once I stepped on the scale at our house and I saw the weight I was currently at, you know, it just one of those things where, you know, I almost felt disgusted with myself. I had no motivation. I felt like I was, you know, not necessarily being, you know, a good husband, but I felt like I, you know, had no energy to, you know, for one, help around the house. I was grumpy all the time. I didn't want to let that, you know, mental thing I had going on, you know, with my personal fitness, you know, just the way I was feeling, you know, coming between, you know, me and my wife and my daughter. So the breaking point was, you know, ultimately I was feeling sorry for myself. I was tired of the way I was feeling. I was tired all the time, and I just had to make a change. So that's why I talked with Mike and rejoined Ergo. My biggest accomplishment since coming back, I would probably say, is just the consistency. I try to make it 4 or 5 days a week, you know, and, you know, I'm so appreciative of my wife, you know, allowing me to, you know, after being gone at work all day, you know, to come train, you know, be gone for an hour. You know, it's one of those things where she notices that, you know, I'm feeling better at the house. So like her sacrifice, you know, while I'm gone at work and when I come here and train, you know, has definitely made it, you know, possible. And I can't thank her enough for that. But starting back, you know, it's like one of those things where prior to lifting, I had all my old personal records like in the back of my mind. And I knew every time I went in the gym, you know, I was never gonna, you know, hit those personal records ever again. So a lot of that was kind of not motivating. You know, if I'm not gonna be able to get back to where I used to was, why even train? So coming back here, you know, I had to, you know, kind of leave my ego at the door and start from, you know, square one. And square one was, you know, the date of my surgery. So I had to come in here with the mindset that I got to build myself back up, you know, while you know, playing it smart, so I'm not going to re-injure my back. And literally started off with the bar and a lot of the movements just, you know, body weight, and just had to kind of, you know, set my ego to the side, which I've never been an ego lifter, but it's definitely hard coming in and you see everyone, you know, pushing these, you know, crazy weights, and I'm just over in the corner with the bar. But it's just one of those things where you have to kind of, you know, check yourself. You have to, you know, worry about yourself, worry about what your goal is going to be. And yeah, I've stuck with it, and surprisingly, you know, the back's held up way better than I thought. And it's to the point now where I'm doing weight that I never thought I'd ever even, you know, consider doing again. So it's definitely been a boost of, you know, my confidence, my motivation. So what I'm working on now is, for one, just, you know, staying consistent, coming in, doing the workouts, being smart. You know, it's nice coming in here, being able to, you know, a workout that I possibly am very limited to doing, or if something that causes me some sort of pain, it's nice knowing that, you know, there's a scale, and, you know, it's nice knowing that all the coaches here know how to work around, you know, injuries, soreness, to allow you to get an effective workout, you know, just as everyone else is. But the thing I'm working on now, which I should have been working on a lot more, is just, you know, my mobility. Mobility is definitely gonna, you know, help in the long term when it comes to back longevity, because everything is tied in: quads, hamstrings, piriformis, psoas, all that. And that's one thing you know, me personally, is the worst thing to do, but that's ultimately the most important thing. And if I did that earlier on, you know, in high school and through college, I probably would have avoided this whole back surgery deal. So just staying consistent is one thing I want to do, and just slightly increase weight as time goes. You know, I'm not going to force it. I'll let the weight come as, you know, the time comes. Anyone considering training here at Ergo, I say go for it. It's an amazing group here. It's a very family-oriented atmosphere. Since being back, you know, everyone, you know, welcomed me with, you know, open arms. People I didn't know, you know, encouraging me through the workouts. You know, being one of the last ones to finish some of the workouts. You know, it's nice having people, you know, rooting you on. They don't even know you. It's a very, you know, positive atmosphere. You know, if you want to see results, you know, show up, just stay consistent. Don't worry about the weight you lift. Don't worry about how fast you go. Just, you know, complete the workout, set your own goals, and this place definitely helps you achieve those. It took me a while to think about something that I could say that, you know, people don't necessarily know about me, but it's kind of funny. It's kind of, you know, some people might think it's, you know, stupid, but growing up, I remember watching the movie Harry and the Hendersons with the Sasquatch. You know, the family takes the Sasquatch home and ultimately becomes part of the family, and that movie scared the bejesus out of me. You know, after watching that movie the first time growing up, I had nightmares every night. And it's kind of funny, you know, even now sometimes, like, I'll get a Harry and the Hendersons DVD, you know, and it's just one of those things where, you know, it freaked me out. So to keep it, you know, kind of funny, that's one thing that, you know, people don't know about me is, you know, whether he's real or not, he's not real, but just the thought of Sasquatch just scares the hell out of me. My name is Travis, and I am Ergo.